Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on daily crypto updates that could change how you see the market. Today, we're diving deep into Bitcoin price predictions and warnings as we wrap up 2025. Bitcoin's been on a wild ride this year, hitting highs over $126,000 back in October, but now it's hovering around $87,000 to $89,000. Is this the calm before a massive breakout, or are we heading into more turbulence? Stick around, because I'm breaking it all down, sharing expert insights, and giving you actionable takeaways to think about for your own strategy. And hey, drop a like if you're bullish on Bitcoin for 2026. Let's see how many we can get. First off, let's talk about where Bitcoin stands right this moment on December 26, 2025. The price is sitting at about 87,370 Lund, with a tiny 0.08% uptick in the last 24 hours. Volatility is at 61%, which isn't sky high, but enough to keep things interesting. We've seen a dip from that all-time high, and with the holidays, trading volume is thin, meaning any big move could swing things hard. Remember, thin markets mean higher risks, but also potential for quick gains if you're positioned right. What do you think? Will we see a Santa rally before New Year's? Comment below with your guess. Now, let's get into the predictions. Experts and analysts have been all over the map this month, but there's some consensus building. According to CoinDCX, Bitcoin could rally 25–30% from here, potentially hitting $110,000 by the end of December. That's ambitious, but based on historical patterns post-halving. Remember, the 2024 halving set the stage for this year's surge. Plan B, the stock-to-flow model guy, has been updating his charts, and in a recent YouTube analysis from early December, he's pointing to a possible push toward $100,000 or more if we break key resistance levels. CoinCodex is a bit more conservative, forecasting $89,006 by today, which we're pretty close to, with a 1% increase expected short-term. Coinbase dropped a bold one earlier this month. They're calling for a December recovery as liquidity improves and macro conditions turn supportive. Think about it. With the Fed's moves in November flipping sentiment and predictions of a $6.6 trillion influx into markets, Bitcoin could ride that wave. VanEck's mid-December chain check report notes the price fell 9% last month, but volatility spiked to over 45%, which often precedes big moves. On the high end, some forecast markets like Kalshi are betting on Bitcoin exceeding $130,000 this year, though odds are slim with just days left. ForecastX has markets on whether it'll top $145,000 or $175,000 by December 31st, and right now, the no bets are dominating at 96%. But let's zoom out to 2026 predictions, because that's where the excitement builds. Many analysts see a supercycle continuing, with Bitcoin potentially reaching $200,000 or even $500,000 by the next halving in 2028. Why? Institutional adoption is ramping up. Record SEC filings for Bitcoin-related products signal mainstream integration. Plus, with gold and silver surging 20% and 70% this year, while Bitcoin's down 6%, some say crypto's due for a catch-up. Imagine Bitcoin flipping gold's market cap. That's $1 trillion shift. If you're watching this and thinking about dipping in, make sure you're subscribed for my 2026 Outlook video next week. What's your price target for Bitcoin in 2026? Let me know in the comments. I read everyone. Of course, no prediction is complete without the warnings. Bitcoin's 2025 has been a roller coaster, and December's no exception. Reuters called it out, record highs followed by crushing sell-offs, and it might end on a low note. We've seen Bitcoin tank from $126,000, losing over 30% in weeks, thanks to tax loss harvesting. Investors dumping losers to offset gains before year-end. Crypto stocks are getting hammered too, down steeper than Bitcoin itself. Analysts at CoinDesk point to this as a sign of broader market jitters. Peter Schiff, the gold bug, is warning of a slow death for Bitcoin, because it's not tracking tech stocks or other assets like it used to. Institutional disengagement is real. ETFs saw outflows in late 2025, raising red flags for Ethereum and Bitcoin alike. Northeastern experts say crypto's here to stay, but the drop wiped out market value, and with fears surging, even bulls are cautious. CNN highlighted how crypto's December slide could spell trouble for stocks too. It's all interconnected. Technically, there's a scary setup, a potential weekly dead cross pattern that could drag Bitcoin down to $67,000 if support breaks. BitGet's analysis warns of this critical juncture. Volatility is high, and with low liquidity over the holidays, black swan events like a Fed surprise or geopolitical tension could amplify losses. Euronews calls it a December reckoning. Investors retreating, prices sliding. And Forbes is sounding alarms on a US dollar collapse crisis, but that could actually boost Bitcoin as a hedge, though silver and gold are stealing the show right now. Remember folks, this market's unpredictable. We've seen extreme fear levels in sentiment indexes, which often mark bottoms, but don't bet the farm. Always diversify, use stop losses, and never invest more than you can afford to lose. If you're feeling the FOMO, pause and research. That's why I love sharing these updates. Knowledge is power. If this video is helping you, smash that like button and share it with a friend who's into crypto. It really helps the channel grow. Let's talk factors influencing these predictions. Macro environment's key. The Fed's rate decisions in December could be a game changer. If they ease more, liquidity floods in, pushing risk assets like Bitcoin up. But if inflation ticks higher, we might see tightening, which historically crushes crypto. Geopolitics too. Tensions in key regions could drive safe haven buying into Bitcoin or scare folks away. Adoption metrics are bullish. More countries eyeing Bitcoin reserves, like we've seen hints from the US under new policies. But regulations could swing either way. SEC approvals are great, but crackdowns on exchanges add risk. On the tech side, Bitcoin's network is stronger than ever. Hash rate at all-time highs, meaning security's top-notch. Upgrades like Bitcoin OS could enhance scalability, drawing in more users. But competition from Ethereum and altcoins is fierce. Ethereum might flip Bitcoin in market cap if DeFi booms in 2026. Warnings here, scams are rampant in crypto. Stick to reputable exchanges, use hardware wallets, and beware of pump and dump schemes. I've seen too many stories of folks getting burned. Don't be one of them. To keep you engaged, let's do a quick poll. Are you holding Bitcoin through year-end or taking profits? Vote in the comments. 1 for hold, 2 for sell. I'll tally them up in my next video. And if you're loving this breakdown, subscribe now. We're at 50,000 subs, aiming for 100k by 2026. Your support makes it possible. Wrapping up predictions. Short term, expect chop around 85k, 90k, with a possible breakout to 100k if options expiry, that massive $23 to $28 billion event, goes bullish. Long term, 2026 could see 150k Blaze if adoption accelerates. But heed the warnings. Volatility, tax implications, and market retreats could pull us lower first. Final thoughts. Bitcoin's not going anywhere. It's evolved from niche to global asset, but approach with caution. This isn't financial advice. I'm just sharing insights from sources like CoinDCX, Coinbase, and Reuters. Do your own research, consult pros. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, like, comment your 2026 Bitcoin prediction, and subscribe for more. See you tomorrow for altcoin updates. Peace out. Word count, approx 1,200. Wait, that's shorter. Expand for 20 manilas. Hey everyone, welcome back. If you're new, subscribe now. Then, in body, detail each prediction source. 4. CoinDCX says, based on models, add explanations. What is stock to flow? It's like. For warnings, similar, expand with examples. Add segments, top 5 reasons. Bitcoin could moon, top 5 risks to watch. Intersperse CTAs. Halfway through, hit like you're still here. To reach 20 LMNVs, aim for 2,500 words. Script continued. Now, let's break down why these predictions vary. Historical data shows post-halving years like 2025 often end with consolidation before the next leg up. In 2017, Bitcoin surged, then corrected. 2021, same thing. So, if history rhymes, 2026 could be explosive. But warnings from experts like Schiff remind us Bitcoin's not correlated perfectly with stocks. When Nasdaq rallies, Bitcoin sometimes lags, as we've seen this December. Institutional flows? VanEck notes outflows, but Coinbase sees recovery. Who's right? Time will tell. But with $6.6 trillion predicted influx per Forbes, bets are on upside. Risks in detail. Tax loss selling. Explain how it works. Investors sell at loss to reduce taxes, creating downward pressure. Dead cross. When 50-week MA crosses below 200-week, it's bearish signal. Audience engagement. Imagine if Bitcoin hit 67k. What would you do? Comment. More CTAs. Share this video if it helped. Conclusion. Same. This should approximate 20 mantillas when spoken at normal pace. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now and smash the bell icon so you never miss an update on crypto trends that could impact your portfolio. Today, we're going deep into Bitcoin price predictions and warnings as we close out 2025. Bitcoin's had an epic year, peaking at over $126,000 in October, but now it's consolidating around $87,000 to $89,000. Is this set up for a year-end rally, or are the bears about to take control? Stick with me because I'm unpacking expert forecasts, key risks, and what it all means for 2026. And if you're excited about this, drop a like early. Let's aim for 1,000 likes on this video. Let's start with the current state of play on December 26, 2025. Bitcoin's spot price is hovering at $87,370, up just 0.08% in the last 24 hours, with implied volatility at 61%. That's not extreme, but in thin holiday trading, even small moves can snowball. We've got a massive options expiry coming up, estimated at $23 to $28 billion, which could spark volatility. Think breakouts above $90,000 or breakdowns below $85,000. What do you see happening? Comment your short-term price geese below, and I'll shout out the best ones in my next video. Moving to predictions, there's a mix of optimism and caution out there. CoinDCX's model suggests a 25 to 30% gain from here, pushing Bitcoin to $110,000 by December's end. That's based on post-halving cycles, where Bitcoin typically builds momentum into the new year. Plan B's latest analysis from early December echoes this, with stock-to-flow pointing to $100,000 plus if we hold key supports. CoinCodex is forecasting $89,612 today, which aligns closely with where we are, expecting a modest 1% bump short-term. Coinbase is bullish on a December rebound, citing improving liquidity and supportive macros. With the Fed's November flip potentially injecting trillions, as Forbes predicts a $6.6 trillion market boost, Bitcoin could surge. VanEck's mid-December report notes a 9% drop last month, but highlights spiking volatility as a precursor to big moves. Forecast markets like Kalshi have odds on Bitcoin topping $130,000 this year. Slim, but not impossible with days left. Forecast X shows 96% betting against $145,000 by December 30th, but that's flipped from earlier sentiment. Looking ahead to 2026, the upside potential is huge. Many analysts see Bitcoin hitting $150,000 to $200,000, driven by institutional adoption. Record SEC filings for Bitcoin products signal a breakout, per recent reports. Some even predict $500,000 by the 2028 halving, based on adoption curves. Gold and silver have outperformed this year, up 70% and 20%, while Bitcoin's down 6%, but crypto could catch up if it flips traditional assets. If you're thinking long-term, what's your 2026 target? Drop it in the comments. Let's discuss. But hold up. Predictions aren't guarantees, and the warnings allowed this December. Reuters sums it up. 2025's rollercoaster of highs and sell-offs might end low. Bitcoin's tanked from $126,000, driven by tax loss harvesting, investors dumping to offset gains, creating pressure. Crypto stocks are down even more, per CoinDesk. Peter Schiff warns of a slow death as Bitcoin fails to track tech rallies. Institutional outflows from ETFs in late 2025 raise alarms, suggesting big players are stepping back. Northeastern experts affirm crypto's longevity, but note the market value wipeout. CNN ties crypto's slide to stock risks. December pain persisting. Bitget highlights a potential weekly dead cross, risking a drop to $67,000 if it confirms. Euronews calls it a reckoning, with fears driving retreats. Forbes adds dollar collapse warnings, but while that could boost Bitcoin as a hedge, volatility and low liquidity amplify downsides. Black swans like Fed surprises or geopolitics could hit hard. Why do these warnings matter? Markets are interconnected. Crypto's edge signals stock trouble. Diversify, use risk management, and stay informed. That's why I do these videos, to equip you. If this is valuable, like and share now. It helps reach more people. Factors behind predictions. Macros like Fed easing could flood liquidity, lifting Bitcoin. Geopolitics might drive safe haven flows. Network strength, hash rate at highs, bolsters security. But regs could swing. SEC wins are positive, crackdowns risky. Competition from Ethereum adds pressure. If DeFi explodes, altcoins steal spotlight. Top 5 bullish reasons. 1. Halving cycles. 2. Institutional inflows. 3. Macro tailwinds. 4. Adoption growth. 5. Tech upgrades. Top 5 risks. 1. Volatility spikes. 2. Tax selling. 3. Institutional pullback. 4. Dead cross techs. 5. Regulatory hurdles. Halfway through, still with me? Hit like if yes and comment bullish or bearish. Scams are a big warning. Use trusted platforms, hardware wallets. I've seen losses from pumps. Avoid FOMO. In summary, short-term chop, potential rally to 100k, long-term upside to 200k plus. But respect risks, volatility rules. This isn't advice. DYOR, consult experts. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for daily insights, like if helpful. Comment your prediction, share with friends. See you tomorrow. Stay ahead.